Hello. Welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this short story, The Girl She Always Been, by Olivia Julius.
All my life I have always wanted a son. I want someone to teach how to play football, someone to share my love for the game with. I grew up surrounded by the cheers of the crowd, the smell of freshly cut grass on the field, and the thrill of chasing a ball. As the years passed, that dream of having a son became a beacon, guiding me through the highs and lows of life. When I finally became a father, holding my newborn son in my arms, I felt an overwhelming sense of joy and responsibility. I knew that one day, I would introduce him to the world of football, just as my father had done for me. As he grew, I eagerly awaited the time when he could join me on the field. The day finally arrived when he turned 5. I couldn't contain my excitement as I handed him his first Little League football jersey. The joy in his eyes mirrored my own, creating a connection between us that went beyond words. From that moment on, we spent countless hours playing in the backyard, practicing passes, and perfecting our goal-scoring techniques. I cherished those father-son moments, watching as he developed his own love for the game. Our weekends were filled with trips to the local park, where we joined other families in friendly matches. The bond we shared on the field deepened with each throw of the ball. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow across the field, my son, who is now 10-year-old, approached me with a look of sincerity and vulnerability. He seemed scared to talk to me while we were playing on the field. It seemed like he was keeping a secret from me, but I wasn't sure what. His eyes, usually filled with the spark of excitement, now held a different kind of intensity. I could sense that something important was on his mind. "Dad," he began hesitantly, "there's something I need to tell you." His words hung in the air, and my heart raced with anticipation. I knelt down to his level, encouraging him to share whatever was weighing on his young shoulders. Taking a deep breath, he looked up at me with unwavering determination. "I know this might be hard to understand, and Mom told me to tell you about this, but—" He paused for a moment, and I could feel my heart beat a little faster. What could he possibly want to tell me that he was so scared about? Him and I told each other everything, or at least I thought we did. "Look, Dad, I know that I am supposed to be a girl. I'm transgender." For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The cheers from the memories of the football field, the scent of cut grass, and the thrill of the game were replaced by a silence that echoed through my mind. My initial reaction was a mix of surprise, confusion, and a touch of sadness, not for who my child was, but for the dreams I had envisioned. As I grappled with my emotions, my son continued, "I've been feeling this way for a long time, Dad. I didn't want to disappoint you, but I couldn't keep it to myself anymore." In that vulnerable moment, I realized that the love and bond we shared went beyond the football field. My dreams for him had always been about happiness, fulfillment, and being true to oneself. With a reassuring smile, I hugged him tightly and whispered, "I love you no matter what, and I'm grateful that you trust me enough to share this with me." In the days that followed, we navigated this new chapter together. I learned about the journey my child was embarking on, embracing the importance of acceptance and unconditional love. Our weekends transformed from football matches to heartfelt conversations, as we both discovered the strength that comes from understanding and supporting one another. As a father, I realized that the essence of our connection wasn't confined to a specific set of expectations. Instead, it blossomed in the fertile ground of love, acceptance, and the shared understanding that being true to oneself is the ultimate goal in life. I came home from work one day and my wife met me at the door. She told me that she went shopping and picked out some new clothes for our daughter. I began to ask why but didn't. Instead, I asked to see our daughter. My wife led me to our child's room. As I entered the room, my heart skipped a beat at the sight before me. There she was, my little angel, adorned in a delicate flower girl dress that seemed to shimmer with ethereal beauty. The room was bathed in a soft glow as the sunlight streamed through the curtains, casting a warm and golden hue on everything it touched. My new daughter stood there, twirling in front of the mirror, the dress swirling around her like a cascade of petals. The gentle rustle of the fabric harmonized with her laughter, creating a melody that resonated in the air. I couldn't help but be captivated by the sheer innocence and joy radiating from her. As a father, I had witnessed countless milestones in her life, from her first steps to the day she proudly showed me that she could throw a perfect spiral in the air. Yet, this moment, seeing her in that dress, held a special place in my heart. It was as if time had momentarily stood still, allowing me to savor the magic of this fleeting moment. The dress itself was a masterpiece of lace and satin, adorned with delicate flowers that mirrored the bloom of her coming out as a girl. The bodice hugged her petite frame, and the skirt cascaded down in layers, creating a dreamlike silhouette. She looked like a tiny princess from a fairy tale, ready to sprinkle enchantment wherever she went. Once she saw me, she stopped what she was doing and looked at me. Her hand fidgeted for a few moments as she wondered what I was going to say or do. Tears welled up in my eyes as I realized how quickly she was growing up. It felt like just yesterday when I held her in my arms for the first time, and now she stood before me, a vision of grace and innocence. In that moment, I couldn't help but marvel at the beautiful young lady she was now becoming. "Daddy, do you like it?" she asked, her eyes sparkling with anticipation. I nodded, unable to find the words to express the overwhelming love and pride welling up inside me. I took a step forward and knelt down to her level, gently brushing a strand of hair away from her face. "You look absolutely breathtaking, sweetheart," I finally managed to say, my voice filled with a mixture of emotion. "You're my little princess." Her face lit up with a radiant smile, and she threw her arms around me in a tight hug. In that embrace, I felt a profound connection, a bond that transcended words and time. As her father, I knew that no matter how many milestones she crossed, she would always be my little girl, forever etched in the pages of our shared story. As I embraced her, I whispered words of affirmation and encouragement. "You are brave, you are beautiful, and you are loved just the way you are." It was a promise, a commitment to stand by her side as she navigated the challenges and triumphs that lay ahead. "I love you just the way you are, Jessica," I said, hugging her tight. Jessica's eyes shimmered with gratitude and relief as she heard those words. The weight of uncertainty lifted from her shoulders, replaced by the warmth of acceptance and unconditional love. In that moment, the bond between father and daughter strengthened, fortified by the understanding that their connection transcended societal expectations and norms.
Voting season is here in the USA. As we find ourselves in the midst of voting season, it's crucial that we recognize the power each of us holds in shaping the future of our communities and society at large. Today, I want to emphasize the importance of casting our votes with a particular focus on supporting transgender-friendly policies.
OJ Studios is committed supporting and encouraging transgender youth. To help in this fight, OJ Studios will donate all revenue received from our videos for the month of February to the Trevor Project. I will also be personally pledging $100 to the campaign. The Trevor Project tracks legislation across the country that could affect the LGBTQ young people. This is not a sponsored video. To find out more, there will be a link in the description down below.